Welcome to the Behind the Art Inspiration podcast, a sneak peek into the studio practices of all types of artists from all around the world. And today I am meeting with Eileen Jager from Easthampton, Massachusetts. And Eileen I'm so excited to have her here. Not only is she an amazing artist, I'm just now diving into the amazing art that she does, but she's also a Feng Shui expert, which really excites me because I want to talk about that. But first, usually I start these off with a one-sentence blurb about the artist and what she does or he does. But today, Eileen is going to do that part for me. Instead of me introducing her, she's going to introduce herself, and we're Zooming. Today we're Zooming, so there's two things that are different. So Eileen, welcome and tell us about yourself.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. It's really great to be here with you. And I love that we're Zooming and we're doing this a little improvisationally because that's how life rolls sometimes.
Yes.
And I've been a visual artist for many years, and glass is my primary medium. I just love, it's all about color and light and the vibrational frequency that we get with color and light and how that impacts our lives. So I had an awakening experience at Chartres Cathedral near Paris in the 1970s, where literally the sun came through the stained glass windows and I felt like the hand of God came out and touched my heart. And that was the moment that marked the beginning of this lifelong passion. And what it had awakened in me is the realization that art has the power to transform our lives, that light does as well. It creates a healing space in our inner world as well as in our outer environments. And that's also like kind of the bridge between art and Feng Shui for me.
I want to know more about that. Tell me about that bridge.
Yeah. So Feng Shui literally means wind and water, and it's the life force energy that flows through all things. So as a Feng Shui consultant, what I do is I'm just like learning how to work with this energy, understanding the art and alchemy of it. Where is energy blocked? How do you get it flowing again? How does one work with the 5 elements to either feed and nourish something or to kind of hold and contain it a little bit? So it's very enlivening working with the elements, working with the elementals, which is something else I do in my work, and bringing this life force to all that I do.
And you don't have any pieces in and around you at this moment, do you, that you can show?
I don't. I'm in my home office. I have a lot of art that's outside in the garden. Right now, I have a lot of art that's in a gallery show in New London, Connecticut, but nothing that's behind me that
Tell
you
me
can
about the
see in the field.
tell me about the art that's in New London in that exhibit.
Yeah, that's a fabulous show. I have 12 pieces there.
Mm-hmm.
One new piece that I made for the show that is my more current work, that's glass mosaic. And this piece is called Blue Reflecting Water. And what's so magical about it is this quality of my work that I wanted to share with you about simultaneous perspectives. So when someone is looking at this piece, you feel the quality of water, you feel the peacefulness and the serenity of it. But because of how it's designed and how I work with the color light energy in the piece, you simultaneously have the feeling like you're looking across at it, like you're watching the sunset below the sea. But it also looks like you're looking down on it, like you just dropped a pebble in water and those ripples are going out. And what I've discovered with these simultaneous perspectives is it actually like opens up a portal in the brain so that we have access to more of ourselves, to more of our aliveness and more of our creativity.
So take me like as a bird flying through your studio as you are creating a piece like that. What are you standing at an easel? is your piece flat on a table? How do you first visualize the simultaneous perspective and then create it into the physical realm? Take me through that.
Well, that's part of the magic and mystery of it because I don't actually understand how it happens myself. I just know that it does happen. And but when I'm working, I do most of my inspiration is drawn from nature and the rhythms and patterns and cycles that happen in nature, which is always kind of a continuous creation and disintegration and then creation again. So my work is very nature based and moves in those kinds of rhythms and patterns. So I get an idea for something, or a client might be commissioning me to do something. So, for example, this piece that I just described, the first version of this that I did some years ago was for a client who just said, make it blue and water. And then it was like, well, what's the quality of water? Is it a stormy ocean? Is it a peaceful lake? Is it a cascading waterfall? Like, what are the different qualities? And then I start to work with the design. I was trained in very traditional stained glass techniques. I studied overseas in Wales, and then I worked in a glass studio in Germany for a while. This was all back in the 80s. And so I'm very classically trained.
Mm.
And yet I'm such an innovator that I'm always like, how do I put this in this? How do I create something that doesn't yet exist? I think this is the question that a lot of artists are living with because we're always compelled to creation. And we're creating things that have never existed before. So they kind of come to me and through me. It starts as a little seed of an idea, and then it like takes up residence in my heart somewhere, and then it just like needs a little more time and energy to grow, and then I start feeding it like you're feeding a fire, and then I start drawing. So literally for me it is the process of rendering the invisible visible, and I feel like I'm a vehicle for spirit to manifest into form.
So I heard you say that you start with a drawing. So do you have a full fleshed out drawing and then you get to the glass, or do sometimes you just start working with the glass and the glass speaks? Does that make
It's a both and,
okay?
because glass itself is a very precious material, and the kind of glass that I use is very expensive. How I work with the glass is usually like I'll start with a small drawing and then I'll do a full size drawing. I work out all the kinks. I call that my pattern or
Mhm.
cartoon. And once I have my full size pattern, I make copies of it. And one of those copies is cut into pieces like if you were sewing a dress and you had a pattern and you knew you were going to cut your fabric, and you're cutting your fabric so that you're going to get that sleeve just right on your dress. So I kind of combine very traditional stained glass technique with mosaic technique in the current work that I do. So yes, there's a pattern. Yes, all the pieces are so are cut so they fit very carefully together. And then I glue it onto a wooden backing and grout it like you'd grout a tile floor.
Okay. So have you ever heard the term, I think it's called Picasso-esque?
No, I haven't.
And I might be saying it wrong, but
Like Picasso.
I'm pretty sure that that technique is taking tiles and cutting them and grouting them into the form that you're looking for.
Oh,
Am I saying it wrong?
so what you're referring to, and I'm not like accessing the word there, but they're little tesserae, and usually these little, often glass or ceramic squares, they're like a 1/4 inch square. And someone will take those little squares and then they fill in their pattern pieces
Right.
um,
Or
to
take a plate and break it.
or to, that's those are more traditional mosaic techniques.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've taken part of the mosaic where you take something and glue it onto a backing, but I've taken the design process for how one works with stained glass and merged them together to create something new.
Because you can see through the glass. You don't have an opaque backing, do you?
No, I usually am gluing it onto a wooden backing.
Okay.
And then, as I said, grouting it like you'd grout a mosaic or grout a tile. So here's the thing, the glass that I work with has this iridescent shimmer and it has the earth tones and it has the jewel tones. It looks like a peacock feather.
Okay.
And the glass itself is about an eighth of an inch thick. And it comes in many different colors. You can have an opaque black, a cobalt blue, a flame red. You can have more transparent colors or darker colors. But then it has a skin on it. And this skin is the iridescent. The skin is the peacock feather.
Okay.
So when I'm working with the energy of the color in the glass and how it runs through the piece, I might cut a piece of glass so it has like silver and gold at the tip, and then a deeper, richer blue in the middle, and then silver and
Mm,
gold at the tip again.
okay.
So, for example, in this water piece that's at the show in New London, you know how when light hits water,
Yeah.
you see these little like reflection points. So I wanted to bring that quality, that kind of shimmering to it.
I call that the sparkles.
Sparkles. Exactly. We got sparkles.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna switch. Now I want you to, because I know you more of a as a feng shui expert.
Hmm.
Speak about spaces, because there are spaces in people's environments,
Yes.
like walking in the front of the home, walking through the living area, going into the bedroom area. Talk a little bit about what you do with people, how you help them.
Yeah. Well, in feng shui, there's two primary tools that we use, and one is called the bagua, and it's like if you imagined an imaginary tic-tac-toe board, like a grid that is placed over the footprint of the house, and then you divide the house into 9 equal areas. So we know, for example, I'm a relationship coach, and so a lot of my clients are coming to me for relationship coaching and will focus on the relationship area of the house and the bedroom as their
Right.
two primary places. Or if somebody is having health issues, we would look at the health gua. But feng shui is really holistic healthcare for the whole home, but it's divided into these different life areas. And I have a map here that I can kind of show you on the screen. If your clients are interested, they can contact me and I'll send it to them. But the far left area from where your front door is abundance. The far right area is relationship. And everything is based on the energy of the year. It's nature based. Like right now, we're in summertime in North America and we're at this full solar peak. It's like the yin yang symbol. And then in wintertime, we're in the fullness of the yin cycle. So this is all nature based. And then the second tool that we use, this is the other side of the map here, is the 5 elements. So you can see you have wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So if you want to feed your fire, you add some tree energy, some wood energy to it. If you have too much fire, then you add some water and you diminish or hold and contain. So these two tools of the Bagua map and the 5 element cycle are how I work with the energy in the space.
And you can do this virtually, am I correct?
Yes.
That's what's so fascinating. And so I'm just picturing and guessing, do you have the person that you're working with carry around their laptop so you can take a tour through their home? Is that what happens, or how does that work?
Yeah, when I work with someone virtually, I send a very comprehensive questionnaire. So I get related to their home, to their life, what's working well, what's not working well. And I have them draw a blueprint, just a simple line drawing of their house that indicates the rooms, the furniture placement, any artwork. And then I also have them send me some pictures of each room. And I give very detailed instructions for how this happens. So they send all of that to me, and I do my preliminary assessment and overlay the bagua onto their blueprint. And then we have our consultation. So I already have a lot of information from what they've sent me. And then we go on tour, either on Zoom or on FaceTime. And we're talking about, like, I always ask my clients to set an intention for the
Mm.
work that we're doing together. So it's not just like a random wayward thing, like there's an intention for what we're focusing on. And we'll start with the three most important things. And then I like to do a follow-up consultation a month or so later after someone has had the opportunity to implement the enhancements or the changes to their environment, and they've had a chance to live with it for a little while. So I have some clients that I see quarterly, for example,
Mm.
as different things are happening in their lives or in their careers, as they're building homes or putting additions on homes, so that we stay in relationship with each other for that kind of support in their home. I also have some people who will do a consultation once and we'll do our follow-up, and they just like take it and run. And every now and then I'll get a little message from them saying like, wow, those shifts that I made are so profound. It's really impacting my life in beneficial ways. Thank you.
Yeah, that all sounds really amazing to me. Like,
It is.
yeah, something that I would like to do. In fact, I totally reoriented my bedroom
Mm.
and switched from one side to the other side. And
Wow.
I know everything is kind of in flux right now, but just simply taking some of the artwork off the wall,
Hmm.
they were all three of trees. And it was
Mm.
almost like pulling up roots.
Wow.
And I took them to a gallery to be shown. But just that started just this domino effect of circumstances.
Hmm.
So it is powerful stuff.
It is. Yeah. Well, you named it three paintings of trees and you moved them. So there's an uprooting that's happened.
Right.
That uprooting creates space for new possibilities. And if you re inhabit that space in a very intentional way, like, who knows what might happen? What is it that you most deeply desire to create?
Right. And right now it's in the thinking stage because I've got artwork. Like I could go through my Rolodex of artwork and then decide what to put back up and where, but I haven't done that. Right
Mhm.
now it's sort of a little bit blank. Some artwork is up from before,
Mhm.
so I'm still in that creation phase, and probably could use a consultation. So I'll have to get back to you on that
Get
one.
back to me on that. It would be a pleasure.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you would like to share with our audience? I mean, I could see meeting up with you again, and us talking even more about feng shui, and that's just this giant topic that people could be interested in. But is there
Mhm.
anything else that you would like to share before we go?
Hmm. Well, I think another underlying quality in my work is beauty. And I know that beauty is so subjective.
Mm.
Everybody has a different idea of what beauty is for them. But in our crazy world, right, I find that beauty heals.
Mm.
And when art or our environments creates space for sanctuary, for healing, for aliveness, for connecting with ourselves, for connecting with our beloveds. I
Mm.
used to think every now and then that, like, oh my God, I am so blessed to be able to do what I do in the world. But there was a little voice in my mind that said, oh, but it's frivolous. There's so much need in the world, poverty, hunger, it's like the list is endless. And then the other part of me comes back in and it's like, this is your gift, this is your mission, and this is what's important for you to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So beauty heals, art heals, and surround yourself with beauty
I
and color and light.
agree with that 100,080%.
That's a lot.
I know, right? I was like, what number am I going to come up with? Okay, well, thank you everybody so much for watching and listening as I share my love of fun, connection, collaboration, and art. It would be great if you were to subscribe to my channel. Being a facilitator of conversation, I pose an open-ended question to each artist in true Caroline style. And it says, send me a one-sentence blurb about you and what you do as an artist and what you love. And then the conversation just flows from there. And hey, I want to mention, if you don't know already, I'm also an artist. And it would make my heart sing if you would go to my website and check out my artwork. I'll leave a link here to my website and in the show notes. And Eileen, I needed to ask you, where can people find out more about you and even perhaps how to get a feng shui, work with you in a feng shui way?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have two websites, and one is eileenjager.com. Jager is J-A-G like goddess, E-R. And that website is all of my art, and there's a page there for feng shui. I have a beautiful ebook there that's called Adventures in Color, and you can download that and then just message me directly from the website. And I also have another website for my coaching and feng shui, and that's eileenjagercoaching.com. And on that one, I have a free ebook that's called Create Your Space for Love. So you can also message me there.
I've heard a lot about that.
You have.
I think I have. But anyways, so you'll send me those and I'll put them in the show notes as well.
I will.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thank you. And I don't want to end.